Hi everyone, welcome to Friday night's Kevin's Free. I love saying that because people said that for a lot of years about me getting out of jail. They'd be like, "Oh, is Kevin free? Kevin's free." And we have an open door policy here on the first two Fridays that anyone from the meeting and from the community can come on and talk about their recovery. And we hope that you do come down. I'm here with Mike.
Hello.
And whoever else comes in the door. Otherwise, I'll just be talking to myself. How you doing tonight, Mike?
Doing pretty good.
What's your recovery look like these days?
It's mainly just a whole lot of work. Being a dad. Just finished my upgrade test for being a Boilermaker.
What's a Boilermaker?
Boilermaker is the guys that go to fix furnaces, steamers, and stuff like that inside of factories. I just came from a job where we were actually building a taconite mine. Taconite mine is a place where they dig up the minerals and they find little specks or balls of metals, and then they can press it all together and make sheets of metal for cars and stuff like that. So we go out and fix those places.
Oh, so you're saying I drive a car because of the little things that you do to make that happen,
Pretty much.
and probably a million other things that are probably
So their saying, their slogan is "We build America."
So here's a good question, and I feel this way about my job. But what would your job be like using? It's got to be hot,
Super hot.
super hot, like
Super hot, dangerous. Since I've started, probably about 5 or 6 people like committed suicide. So it's like really, it's like strenuous, lonely, it's stressful.
oh, so like right up our alley,
Yeah.
right up our alley.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty normal for an addict.
But they don't mess around with the drugs. They have annual drug tests. Depending on what job you are on, there will be drug tests because it's dangerous work.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm finally happy that I'm not getting drug tested that much.
Yeah.
Because I'm off paper now, and like, you know, my house will drug test me occasionally, but I've been so good for so long that they never do. And like, I'm not using, so I'm not super worried about it. But like, for maybe the last 25 years of my life, there was always a drug test, no matter what, whether I'd come in on probation violation or seeing the probation officer or whatever. I forgot what that's like to have a job where they be checking to make sure.
Yeah. I I don't know, for the last 2 years I've been just so at it working, it doesn't even cross my mind. I don't even do anything. I literally just work, take care of my kids. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I literally do nothing.
That's all right. I tried to say that the other day. I was like, I'm kind of lame. I go home early. I go to bed early. I get up early.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until the guys that I volunteer with were like, "That's not lame. That's what being an adult is.
Yeah,
that's like what happens." Like, you know, and it's funny because I do see a lot of people that kind of have wild recovery lives, and they're like, "We're going dancing," and I'm like, oh, I mean, maybe. and then I go, and it's a little too much sometimes. It's like,
yeah, I like to stick to myself because I don't have to deal with the stresses of everybody. You know, even in sobriety, people have like a lot of emotional stuff going on they're dealing with, and they like to like emotional dump on other people. And I seem like I'm always that person that they want to do it to. So it's like, I'll just stay to myself.
You guys should introduce yourselves, even though I know who you are.
I'm Jody.
Hello, Jody.
I'm Dana. I'm an addict.
Hi, Dana. I'm happy you guys are here. If you guys weren't here, I would just be here.
By yourself.
I spend a lot of time by myself. I enjoy time by myself. I didn't know how to be with myself until recently, but I didn't want to be on the show by myself.
Yeah, that'd have been
Rambling. I'm like, oh yeah, you know, if you guys was going the same pathway I went, you figure out real quick. You don't want to have a cut on your forehead every time you fall in the ditch. I just be rambling on. What's new?
So what's the subject? What are we talking about?
Oh man, I don't even have anything put together. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I worked more hours this week than anybody, and I thought about some things that I'd like to do, and this is supposed to be the open show,
Right.
which is the open show. Like, you know, do I like pull people on and tell them what to talk about? No, I want people to tell me what they're doing to stay clean right now, how they can help others stay clean, what that looks like in their life, you know, because the longer we stay clean, and whether you want to admit it or not, but you're showing other people that it's possible. And I forget that until I come to a meeting and I hear people that are like, I just crawled out the gutter.
Yeah.
And you know, and you hear their best ideas and they're sharing, they're like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do, and I got it all figured out. And you're like, oh man, I was there. And like, I hope you don't go down that road, but I also know that, you know, so, you know.
I have a friend that emotionally dumps on me as well. And she was staying with me because she had a problem at home, blah, blah, blah. I had to send her home because she was drinking in my house.
Yeah.
She woke me up 3 times in one night because she was having a blackout. She was freaking out. And I'm not for that.
Setting boundaries is part of sobriety. That's the best part of sobriety.
We've all done that to someone, though.
No.
I've done it to someone for sure. I probably don't want to admit it or think about it, but like,
I don't think that I've ever gone to someone else's home
And woke them
and
up out
shown
of
my
sleep.
ass.
Yeah, no.
oh well, no. I mean, well, I don't know. I can't remember everything.
Yeah, I even in my addiction, I was always like to myself, I like being alone. Because you don't have to deal with other
That's a
people.
bad place to be sometimes when you think about it. Like, you think it's a great place to be, but like when I'm alone in my addiction, I get really dark.
Yeah.
And with that comes all the dark stuff, you know. It wasn't until I put myself around other people that I learned things that I thought I wanted to learn. And then when I got off addiction and like to be around people, I also like learned things. I was at a meeting last night. It's called the Thursday Night Homeboys, and it's like a meeting at people's houses, and it's kind of by invite, I think. It's like a really random. Everyone there's got like mad years. There's a few new guys, you know, but a lot of those guys have mad years, and they were talking about, you know, and they're such humble guys. They were talking about, you know, the adventures that they get to have in recovery, like what that looks like, you know. And like, I work a lot, but I take time to be able to do things so that I'm not just working, because you have to live your life. But I mean, like, we're fighting to have a life. I fought so hard to have a life. What does that look like? You know, where are you going? What are you doing? Who are you doing it with?
Yeah.
You know, they were talking about who they keep themselves around. And I like, am still halfway in with my foot in the sober house. So I'm like able to like hang around with all the newbies and their best ideas, you know, which at this point, you know, I've been clean for long enough, a little while. And, but hearing that last night was a big reminder. And it was something that someone said, like, we want to do well. Who do you put yourself around and what are they doing? And you could always bring your best ideas here. And one of us has done it. And we can tell you what we think.
Yeah.
Because all of our best ideas have already been tried. Because we're all just trying to, you know, make a little bit of money, come up, be happy, put a life together, do something.
Stay sober.
Stay sober. I mean, that's really the number one thing. But none of those other things can happen until
you stay sober.
you figure that other part out.
I never like working and stuff like that. I never really worked before I became like a Boilermaker, and this is like the longest job I've ever kept in my life. I swear to God. I sold drugs most of my life, so it was like I don't want to work for the man. It's a setup. It's a scam.
Yeah.
But it's steady. It's good pay, and I'm actually in the process of trying to get my own and have something for my kids later on in life. Selling drugs and stuff like that, you won't be able to do nothing but clothes, jewelry, and cars, and food, like the basics. So I'm happy with myself and what I'm doing because, you know, like my family, they're still like either paying rent and they're like almost 70, and it's like, I won't do that. I won't pass nothing down to my girls, you know?
Yeah.
I have 3 grandchildren that I absolutely adore. And I've been thinking about doing the Gerber College Fund thing. Have y'all heard of that?
Yep.
I've been thinking about doing that for them since I really can't get them a college education. I might as well start saving through that first. So I've been thinking about doing that, setting one up for each of my grandkids.
Yeah.
Good for you. I come from good parents who, I feel this like an interesting thing. Like when you help the kids, they tend to be all wild and crazy. And then when the kids have like wild and crazy parents, they tend to help themselves. And it's like an ongoing process that goes back and forth. And we all hope that people would do these things. I was gifted this opportunity to go to college and did well with it. And while I was there, I saw a lot of people who ended up there and didn't quite understand it like I did, like how important it was. And who knows if I'll ever use my degree for anything, right? Like as of right now, I'm working nothing to do with my degree. I got a job before I got the degree. The job I have right now.
What is your degree in?
Well, I started out for addiction counseling, and I accidentally got an associate's of liberal arts and Native American studies, and I have the addiction counseling degree. I'm like 1 internship, 2 internships away from having a temporary license and a bachelor away from having a licensure. So I could work a lot of things with all that. I also could change a lot of things up. As of right now, I can go to a prestigious school and I have all my generals done. So if I want to focus on some sort of study or change something, I can do that. And I didn't know any of this stuff. Like when I got there, I was going to steal a copier. Or the money or whatever. I had those great ideas, and it's funny to be able to say that to people today. Dana was there with me the whole time.
Yes, I was, and he left me.
Guess what? You're running the show over there. You're next in line. Everyone else is dipped out. You're doing it. You're putting on. Tell me about this big festival you're putting on in September.
How did I know you were going to ask about that? September 24th, 10 to 2 at Minneapolis College. We are doing our 14th annual Operation Recovery, which is a opportunity for the students at the college to get involved with recovery, to see what recovery looks like, and also connect with other outside organizations. And there's a student panel, there's going to be henna and airbrushing and a photo booth, and there's going to be food and drinks.
And who's doing all the paperwork behind the scenes right now?
Me, Casey, and the president, Courtney.
Exactly.
So you deserve a pat on the back for that. You're working hard.
She was giving herself a hard time.
You always work hard though. I watch you in these meetings and you're always like working. You're never like just sitting down. You're always like chasing after one of these little these little kids, or making sure Cupcat ain't got no burrs in him, or, you know, just being of service. And I love that.
Thank you. It makes me feel a little bit better about myself because it's been just one of those weeks that I just want to give up and say, fuck it all, just because one thing isn't working out. And I have to realize that if I go out and use, it's only going to be a temporary fix and the problem's still going to be there. So what's the point of going out and using?
My mom taught me this little thing. And I know it's a cliche, and I'm sure everyone's heard it before, but no matter where you go, there you are. It doesn't matter what you use. It does matter, y'all. It matters a lot.
You know what I love about that? It has deeper ramifications, as in there you are, as in who you are, and who you get to be, and how you get to show up there is
Right.
the part that you get to work on. Because
Right.
like if you're never working on that and you're trying to show up places, you show up as the person you don't really want to show up as, and you don't realize that for a long time, you know? And like someone was asking me, they're like, "Oh, you must be out like hitting on girls and all this stuff earlier." And I was like, "No, I pick people up and take them to meetings, and I help my friends and their kids out, and I volunteer for stuff, and I show up for the people in my life. Like I'm not out there.
Being irresponsible.
I mean, I'm the most irresponsible person you'll ever meet.
Well,
It's over.
I don't,
Let's be real for a
I don't
second.
mean losing your keys irresponsible. I mean you're responsible.
I am today. I have a hard time owning that because sometimes I still do irresponsible things. I mean,
Yeah.
like I like to think that I'm going to like make a list every night of what I'm going to do the next day, right? And if I don't meet that, I'm not happy with myself. But like sometimes you just got to get up and like go with it. You know, you'll never end up in those places where you just like those God moments, right? How did I end up here? This is where I was supposed to be. I connected with these people. I ran into a girl tonight who we never really talked very much here. And I saw her Facebook, and the reason it struck a nerve is because she's from where I was born in Havre, Montana. Before I went to Alaska, I was born in Havre, Montana. It's the smallest, craziest, coldest. It's colder than here. If you want to talk about a place that's colder than here, it's like right on the edge of Montana and North Dakota and Canada, and it's cold and it's barren and it's a nothing place. And I was like, "You're from Havre too?" And like, you know, those little things, like when you like, you know, it's so random. Like, this is such a big city to like recognize somebody from a meeting and then to see their Facebook and be like, "Oh, we're from the same small city. We have no idea who each other are." I'm sure somehow or another our families must know each other somewhere, but you know, her dad worked on the railroad. My dad worked on the railroad.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know,
Those
I
are
went through
quite
there.
Those are quite the coincidences.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, it's crazy. Like when you like put yourself out there and you start to like look around a little bit and go to these places, meet these people. They're so much alike. We're all so much alike. We're all so different, but you know,
Have a lot in common.
we're all looking for the same stuff right now and how to help each other. I was asked to do this podcast like I don't even know how long ago I started doing this, but I wasn't really that excited. It was kind of scary. It was a scary thing to say, "Okay, yeah." So, "No, you'll be fine." And I'm like, I don't know who watches, how much they watch, you know, what kind of fans. But I do this. I show up and I make this happen. I open the door. I set up a program that I don't even know. Like nobody really even showed me how to do all this stuff, and somehow or another I can figure it out.
By God's grace.
Only by God's grace. But you know, here we are on a platform. Here we are on a platform connecting with people that one day when I'm not doing this anymore, they're gonna be like, "I used to watch that show." And like sometimes that happens in my life where like people know me and I don't really know who they are. This is a big city.
Very
I
big.
live, I live in a suburb, so I don't know. What
I mean, I count the whole thing. I work all the way out in every direction in an hour, and I'll tell you something. The people are the same.
Yeah.
They might get richer the bigger places you go to, but you know, there's a lot of amazing people here. Nice Minnesotans. Everyone is touched by addiction. So many times I've been at the YMCA hot tub with a bunch of guys, and somehow it comes up. Oh yeah, AA meeting this morning, and I'm always blown away because so many people have issues and are dealing with it here. You know, and that's the other part. Are dealing with. I've been to a lot of places, and maybe I was in the wrong place at the time, but I felt like there just wasn't enough going on to make that better. And like, you know, the more I look around, this is the birthplace of a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I try to, like, I lived here 3 years. I'm like, oh, cereal came from here, you know, and like you look around, like big malls came from here. Like, I'm not saying malls came from here, but the biggest malls ever came from here. And it wasn't just the Mall of America. It was like Maplewood and Ecolab and like all the great things. All the great things, you know, have come from here. Hi, Shelby. Shelby, say hi to everyone. This is Shelby. She's adorable. And you know, I sometimes say it's the birthplace of recovery, which isn't true, but it is the birthplace of addiction medicine. Or it was the place that addiction medicine got big. And with all that came so many different like levels of people working in the field and helping people and helping each other. And you know, I go out into these crowds and like everyone's working CPRS now, which is great because like addicts with charges are out there helping other addicts, you know, with like-minded stories. And not everyone makes it, you know, but that was my story. I love to hear that. Oh, I didn't make it. I'm like, oh, I'll just keep trying because here we are, you know, and every day I stay here, the day, even on my worst days, the day is way better than it was out there.
Yeah, most definitely. You know, the one thing that I've had to run into since being sober is like all the trouble that I was getting to when I was in my addiction. Like, so I had to go to like 4 different states. I was getting extradited from jail to jail to jail, like 4 different states. And then like, it's like I got pulled over more now as I'm trying to like straighten out my life than I've ever had before in life of crime. So I had to pay so many fines and fees, and it's like, dude, it sucks, but it's like there's way other issues. There's people out here going through instead of like paying for stuff, but actually having the cash for it.
Do you remember how many? I'm right there with you on all that. Do you remember how many times we could have been pulled over, and we used to call it with our pants down, right? Like, I didn't happen to me, but there was times that like if they'd have pulled me over, there would have been no way to clean that. There would have been no way to clean that mess up.
Yeah, 20 years, 30 years.
And so when the lights come on today, my brain goes to a place where my old brain used to go to, and then I remember that I don't have anything in the car.
Yeah.
I'm not in trouble with the law in this state. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm usually not even speeding, which is another weird thing. You know,
See, they can't get me on that. When I used to drive, I'd hit that cruise control.
I might have to start doing that.
My little brother called me, he nicknamed me NASCAR Ninja. Because the way that I used to be able to get from Minneapolis to Lindstrom in about 30 minutes, 20 minutes. 30
Yeah,
minutes.
that's my problem this past summer. I was speeding everywhere, you know, usually going back and forth to work and home and stuff like that. And the same cop will like pull me over. He's like, dude, this is starting to get embarrassing. Like we're technically friends now. I'm like, well, maybe you should just stop pulling me over. So you should stop speeding. I don't have any drugs. I'm
Don't
not doing
watch me
anything.
speed.
Yeah, look the other way.
Blink really long.
So,
I took a lot of thinking error classes when I was in jail, and that was probably one thing that like kind of saved me was being able to take accountability for some stuff. Because when I was using, I had like different beliefs about the law, and I was like, I don't believe in the law, but I believe in like treating people right. And you know, something that I learned recently was how I show up in my recovery and how I show up on the road is to be able to be the best driver that I can be for the people that need that. Not everyone needs that. And there's a lot of drunks out there still driving around crazy and we're in a huge, I mean, it's not as bad
I
as
see him
California.
on the road all the time.
But you know, even if I don't get to cross someone's path, I still have the opportunity to show them what that looks like. That you know that we can be safe, and I know my mom's happy when she hears me say things like that. I'm out there like not highballing corners and doing crazy dumb things. I did get a flat tire taking Anna and Shelby home on some bald tires that shouldn't have even been driven on by like I think a year as long as they should have been changed a year, and like somehow we were on the freeway and it wasn't a big deal, and like I was so lucky to be able to make it home without hurting anybody or myself, you know.
I'm glad that no one was hurt.
yeah, because that could have been really dangerous.
It's really dangerous.
Blowing a tire while you're driving, it could
I still think like an addict
end
would.
very badly.
My addict self was like run that thing till the tires burn out, right? You know, like that was kind of my thought process. I mean, when I had a lot of drugs, I was worried about getting pulled over. If I was drinking and driving, I was worried about getting pulled over. But for the most part, the rest of the time, we didn't care about anything. And so, you know, you have to get rid of those beliefs and go through those struggles and find out what that looks like to be able to like, I didn't want to spend $700 on new tires. The car doesn't cost that much money. So me spending the $700
Strictly for safety.
was strictly for safety and the people that I deal with, which I'm not gonna lie, a lot of times I'm like, yeah, I'll give you a ride from a meeting, and like I don't think about that. Like, how do I show up? How do I get to show up in other people's lives? How do I get to show that to other people? You know, because we do a lot of crazy things. Still,
No, I don't. I work. Oh, well, my job, I do crazy stuff.
you do,
Oh yeah,
you do.
the most sketchiest stuff. Like my job, it kills a lot of people or injure a lot of
What do you
people. I'm a boilermaker, so like we go to factories. Like the job I just left, we was building a taconite mine, and we do some of the sketchiest stuff that it'll easily kill somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But we're so used to like being
Right.
safe about it that we just don't be safe about it.
I cut trees down right now.
Yeah.
You know how many times today I ran into the safety zone where like you're not supposed to be, all in the name of grabbing a limb that would have like saved us 5 seconds of time.
Yeah, that's dangerous. You should be tied off.
I mean, you know, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I love this right now. I could be doing a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
I could be doing a lot of things. I've had a lot of opportunities, and I'm kind of happy right now. I mean, I'm tired, but I'm getting tougher.
Yeah.
I would never thought I could do this. That's another thing. You know, every time it's hot out, I think, oh, I remember what it was like to come to a job like this on drugs and how hard it was to go home afterwards. Oh, and you were like, yeah, you know, and then you would like spend half your paycheck on drugs later on, like, and somehow barely make rent or whatever you were doing that would make some sort of sense. But it was so painful to live like that, just to be like that.
Mentally draining.
Mentally draining and everything, you know. And like today I can show up on a Friday night after a very, very long work week.
Yeah.
And still have something for people.
See, I don't do crazy no more. I just sit at home, I read my Bible, haven't been doing too good on that lately, but see, I'm enough crazy for me.
Yeah.
I'm enough crazy for me. I don't need any additional madness in my life.
Or like extra fun. It's like, no, you have a party in my own head. Or I just sit back and watch my kids act crazy. That's what I do. My kids are enough entertainment.
I'd love to see how you handle my 3 grandsons. I'd love to see you chase them around because they love to play. They love to play tag. They just love playing.
Yeah.
And I'm not the grandma to do that. I move slowly.
All you gotta do is tell them that you're recording, and they'll give you a whole show.
Oh, sweet.
You give kids a camera and set them in front of it, guarantee you, you'll be entertained.
Or give them a phone.
No, you won't be entertained. You'll just be watching them watch the phone. So I just tell my kids I'm recording, and they'll do all type of stuff.
I like that.
Yeah.
Her niece comes here and how old is she? 6? Sings karaoke in front of like the big massive crowd. I'm so impressed by some of the stuff that like I never did stuff like that. I didn't get up in front of people until I was like super.
Well, these kids nowadays, man, they're so advanced, way more than what we are. They're just throwing so much information. I find it fascinating.
Right.
Kids these days are cool. They're smart. There's not too many bullies, and if there is, you know what I'm saying, like the group of kids will be like, "Hey, stop being a bully." And I think it's great.
Yeah.
We've had too many problems with bullies. I was taught something when I first came into meetings, just like to kind of like steer clear and watch who you know and put around yourself. Because like even in meetings, there can be a lot of sickness still because we come from that generation
Yeah.
where there was like bullies and we're like Gen Xers and so
Hey,
everyone's a little bit
watch
more
it
rough.
now.
Huh?
Watch it now.
What's that?
Gen X are over here.
Yeah. I'm a millennial.
This one knocking?
So,
Are you a millennial?
yeah, dude, I'm 41, man.
Yeah, but I mean, like you're right there on the edge.
No. I was born in 85.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. You grew up near a time when things were much different.
Oh, yeah.
You had a real phone in your hand. You've seen pagers.
I had a pager.
The kids don't even know what a landline is.
Yeah, my kids don't know anything about that.
Everything's done on computers. Oh, everything's done on computers these days. You can't live without one.
What are you talking about? Huh?
They're having fun out there. No, it's fine. Either
You
way,
want to advertise that?
he runs the place.
Yeah, I was about to say, he looks familiar.
No, he runs the place. He's like part owner of Paul. He's cool.
So, yeah, that's these kids nowadays. They amaze me. And it's some of those kids that like watch too much internet where they like, oh, it's cool to be a tough guy, and they like come from a well home. That annoys the shit out of me. It's like, dude, you have no clue.
I had a couple of 21-year-olds on the show, maybe 23, 22-year-olds on the show a couple weeks ago. And it was really interesting, things I don't think about. Like, well, it's hard being young and in recovery because everyone else is still young, is still working towards what took us so long to find out, right? And so, but they're also like such a different generation, right? And there's like so many like factors that come into like what recovery looks like for them and what they get to do with that and where they feel comfortable. Because I didn't feel comfortable at all when I first got clean. I wasn't comfortable anywhere. I came to these places, but I was so uncomfortable. I didn't have a calmness in me, and I'm not calm enough today, but I'm much more calm than I used to be. And I was like inside was screaming in a place like this. And sometimes I would come and I would just be so uncomfortable. and I knew it was a good place. I knew it was good for me. I knew what was going on was like something I needed, but there was like enough of me screaming out.
Yeah.
You know, because I wasn't comfortable with who I was. I hadn't worked on me enough to feel comfortable with who I was. You know, and it was hard to walk into places. And so like that's something that I always try to do. And I don't always do it well, but you know, talk to people that look like they need someone to talk to. Because no one wants to sit alone and not connect at a place where we came together to connect.
Yeah, I have chose with that too as well. Like getting out in places, going out and hanging out with people, but it's like I don't even try to put myself out there to like know people to be like, oh, let's go here. So I'm just like staying myself.
That's good though. Well, you got kids.
Yeah.
And there's lots of things to think about and all that. One of
Yeah.
them is that like who you hang out with says a lot to your kids about you know, so like I've seen it a lot lately where I'm not one to judge how people want to raise their kids, but like if I had kids, I would be pretty
Sketchy of who you let come around.
yeah, not just who you let come around, but who they get to see who you hang out with and who you are, because that's a lot of who they get to be. You know, and we forget that.
My number one thing is safety.
Yeah.
Safety for the kids. Make sure that the person that you have around your children should be
Yeah.
and deserves to be.
Yeah. That's why I have nobody here. I don't have any friends. I stick to myself. I have one friend and he's annoying.
That's like me. Before I got sober, I had to constantly have people around me.
Yeah.
And now that I've got sober and I'm starting to work on myself, I find I like being by myself
Yeah.
more than I like being around people.
Yeah. If you look at the people that you used to hang out with in college, your friends and all that stuff, if you look at them now and who you are today, you'll be like, what was I thinking?
Yep.
So now I'm very cautious of who I let around me.
If you can remember this, they weren't your friends to begin with, they were your using buddies. They were your using buddies.
Yeah, but I also grew up with like most of my friends from like 6th grade. You know what I'm saying?
snap.
was
Second
friends.
grade.
Yeah.
And like some of them just recently hit treatment. I don't know. Like I had a buddy just get out of treatment. We've been best friends since like the beginning of all the trouble, right?
Yeah.
And he never really got into drugs, but he drank all these years. He called me up, and I haven't talked to him in like 25, 30 years. He called me up the other day and was like, I just got out of treatment. And he's like, because he's you know, knows all the warrants of mine that have hit over the years, how much trouble I've been, how many times I've been to treatment, like what I'm doing right now. And like some people see that, you know, they go on my Facebook and see my college graduation, what do you call it, and like all the like little things and
Your accolades.
And so they just kind of assume, you know, and don't get me wrong, I like to connect with people and help them out. It's tough though too, because that's a best friend from the beginning who
Before
is as new as some of the people that walk into these meetings. It's like, I got 9 days, and you know deep in your soul that it could go either way.
Yeah.
That I hope that they put themselves through enough that they're done.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case. And nothing that I say is going to make that happen
Or easier.
you know, because it's different for everyone.
Yeah, like a person I consider one of my best friends, he's like struggling with fentanyl addiction. And he's like, oh, I'm sober this long. Then he's back on it, sober this long. It's like, dude, I can't be around you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here for, you know what I'm saying, moral support, but as of like helping you out financially and stuff, and it's like, I can't do that for you. I have kids, dude. I can't care about what you need more than what my kids need. My kids need me to be active in their life and showing up in their life. I can't always come to your rescue. You're a grown man with no kids, no responsibilities.
Well, see, I guess that's where I find myself fortunate is because I don't have kids, but I get to show up for my niece and my nephew.
Yeah.
And you get to show up for all the kids every time you
Yeah.
time you show up for the kids.
Dana, point that mic at you. You're killing me. You should know better than this. You have to point it at you.
You're killing me.
No, you have to point it at you.
You're killing me.
And then speak into it.
Uh-huh. I got that reference. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
Well, we sit out in the meeting out there all the time, and a lot of people will get so into their conversation, their share, that they don't realize they can't hear themselves, and they're just like sitting there talking, and everyone's like, "I can't." This is a big room,
and it's a lot of new sober people, and they're just, it's like I wouldn't say a Bible thumper, but a person that just hears about Jesus and he's out there and he wants to talk to everybody because they're sober. So
Yeah.
they're not even really listening to the person that's trying to share. So it's like a lot going on.
I mean, people hear what they hear. I remember when I first heard some of the best things that I ever heard. And maybe today I don't connect like that. I connect in a lot of other ways. Last night was like the most I'd connected in a long time because I kind of like hung out with people that were like been sober longer than me and are like really living their lives. Go off to like these like camping trips with the same group of AA guys that they have been doing that with for years.
Yeah.
And they're like, when I really realized where I wanted to put my time and energy into and what was going to be good for me was when my life started being successful. And it was a big reminder because like I stop and help all kinds of people all the time. And sometimes I say no. And sometimes I feel bad about it. Sometimes people just assume that I have the time to help everybody. I had someone get mad at me about that not that long ago. They're like, "Oh, well, I'm just gonna have someone call you." And like I'm just out here
Just
24 hours a day with the
freelancing
recovery
time.
hotline. And don't get me wrong, I want to help the next person because I know that when you help people, you figure things out about yourself. Like you learn things about yourself along the way. You hear parts of you because we're all the same, right? We're all different, but we all have the same problems, and we all,
Yeah.
It's tough though. It can be tough though sometimes, because when you're sitting at home and I like to be alone too. I don't like being around a bunch of people, except for here, because I know I can go home and close the door and everyone disappears. That's it's important to come to the meetings, but it's also important to listen.
Yeah.
And I'm learning that.
I heard somebody say one time coming to Will Work, and this was like when I was first coming, and they were saying that it's okay to be a villain in somebody else's story. Like just meaning that somebody's always going to have something bad to say about you, but is it true or not? Who cares?
who cares?
Because you have to be selfish in your sobriety. So if that makes you a villain, so be it.
Yeah.
I believe it. I was terrible to a lot of people. I've been terrible to people sober. Like I didn't come into this knowing how to live like a good human being. I've been at a sober house and I've lost my everything a lot of times. I lost my shit at school in a really professional setting to the point where I've had to apologize. And something that's interesting about being working a program is that we're able to recognize sometimes where we're wrong and apologize for it as quickly as possible and correct that mistake, because that's like sickness you don't want to live in. So someone said the other day that anger is it's a sickness that you put on yourself over someone else's mistake.
Yeah.
and that kind of like really hit me really hard because I've put myself through like so much nonsense and a lot of that stuff was like over nonsense. It's the same thing in my house. Like someone's like, someone stole my egg. I'm a beat up dude. And it's like all these things. I've been there long enough now and someone steals one of my eggs. I'm like, oh man, he needed it more than I did.
Yeah.
And it just that good attitude has allowed me to like get through some like really hard things.
Yeah, and what I've learned is the best way to get over stuff is always try to understand what the next person is going through. You never know what the next person is going through. Being a Boilermaker, there's been so many people that like kill themselves, and you find out what the reason is for, and it's like, dude, I could have helped that person or made it just a little bit lighter. So I like to say, always treat people with kindness because you never know, that person might be on the edge of either going on a rampage or killing themselves. So treat people with kindness.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you can't, then stay home.
Yeah.
You know me, I'm blunt.
That's what I do. I stay at the house.
You know what I mean? Like if you can't be a civilized human being and be okay with people in public, then stay home.
I mean, we watch the news. I watch way too much stuff all the time, and things just happen. And I watch enough social media where important. Saw some guy from Hawaii who was like supposed to be some congressman, kind of getting in a fight with these guys on the beach, and they couldn't let it go, and it turned in. And he gets beat up, or whatever, But like, it's another interesting thing to think about was that like when you're like not in turmoil anymore. And I want to say that like my addiction started because I was in turmoil, and my recovery is getting better because I'm working on that turmoil. It was never really the drugs and the alcohol that were the real problem. They just led me to the understanding that inside I'm like the mess that existed, and it's still a mess today.
Yeah.
But I can recognize that and work on that. And I'm able to like sit with those moments and be okay and recognize my part in things. That's like something the steps have taught me is like what your part is in stuff, right? Like, what did you do? What can you do? And after that, things are out of your control. We can be really hard on ourselves sometimes.
Most definitely.
There are definitely times I am my own worst enemy. You should hear the way I talk to me. I wouldn't talk to you like that because I respect you. So how do I have the habit of talking to myself so disrespectful?
Yeah.
I know everyone can hear it, but they are partying out there, and I want to go be a part of the party.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
going to leave you guys right now.
No, Mike, it's good to see you.
Nice.
It's good to see you. I thank you for coming on.
All right,
Jody,
ladies.
Dana, everyone, thank you for coming out. Man, anyone out there listening, I want to thank you for the opportunity that I'm here on this platform. I'm reminded every week by someone like, what do you got planned? I'm like, so I'm working on a plan. I'm here. I get to plan out some things and do some stuff. I'm not quite to the point where like I'm cool enough that I get to decide who's going to be there, but like I can tell you this.
He's always here.
I will be here, whether I'm talking to myself or everyone else, and hopefully that's a good talking to myself. Live from Minneapolis. I hope you guys have a great night.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.